Hello, welcome to More Than One Opinion. This is Rodi Namor and Jenny Day.
Thank you for joining us for another episode. Today, we're going to be touching on routine and planning. So, specifically, what routines, habits we follow that help us prepare to, execute things that we need to do in our business and in our life more effectively.
That's right. Look, I mean, for me personally, I'm going to share my point of things. Of course, you've got your own. I really believe when whatever I speak about, it's always it all lines up with um, health, business, and your relationship. So, because the formula is the same for everything, like everything has the same formula. So, if you want to predict, for instance, what's going to happen tomorrow, or at least be very, very uh, on point of what's going to happen tomorrow, that needs to be prepared the night before. And it's very easy. Like, ask me any question, and I'll tell you the next day, this is what I'm going to be doing. Why? Because I wrote it all down in my calendar, for instance. So if I can predict I'm going to see you at 3:30, which I did, because we predicted it and we basically planned it. So the same thing in business, the same thing in health, it all works the same way. So for instance, in health wise, because we haven't touched on health for a while, health wise for me, if you tell me I want to lose weight, I'll say to you, okay, cool, what are you going to do about it? And then you freeze because you don't know pretty much what you want to do. You're just trying to hope to God that if I don't eat enough or I don't eat that much, I should lose weight.
There's no plan of
There's no plan. And there has to be that planning that is consistent the night before, every night before. So, for instance, if I say to you my schedule for tomorrow, I already know exactly what's going to happen. So, tomorrow, for instance, tomorrow's Tuesday, I'll be training in the morning, literally in the morning, and tomorrow is chest and triceps. I'm doing my chest and my triceps. This is at the gym. So, what am I going to eat? I'll prep that the night before, where I'll have literally exactly what I'm going to eat for the morning. I'll have my shake. I've gone through what I like to have in the shake. So I have a NutriBullet and I basically have all my protein in my shake. That will get me through from the morning till after my workout. And I've already pre-prepped. Now my girlfriend pre-preps, but it's pre-prepped my food for lunch. I already know what I'm going to eat for lunch, and I already have prepped what I'm going to have for dinner. So if you ask me, could you predict the next day what you're going to do? Yes, I already know. I pre-planned it the night before. So preparing for the next day, or at least eliminating the element of surprise the next day, comes from preparing the day before and preparing the year before and the decade before. To an extent, you could really predict what the next day and the next week and the next year is going to give you by preparation from before. So if you're saying to me, my business is suffering in this situation, or I'm losing business here, or I'm losing whatever, there's adjustments and preparation that we can do today so that in the next few months it will adjust and we can predict where it's going to be. So preparation and lining up and planning is so important, so that at least it eliminates most of the element of surprise the next day and the week after, or the month, because you've pretty much summed up what you're going to do the next day and the next week and the next month, because you're prepared for it. So anything else in between is basically a bonus for me. So if I know from scratch what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, then, and I know that's enough to get me by, anything else is a bonus. Anything else will just line up with the rest of the day. So anyone that says to me, for instance, I want to be healthy, I want to be fit, as soon as they start speaking, I know that they have no idea about what they're talking about. Because they don't have the preparing. So I'll say, so what are you going to eat today? I don't know. Yeah, I'm just going to probably. So you're going to wait until you're hungry. If you made it to the first part that I actually like, where you went to the gym in the morning, what are you going to have afterwards? whatever's available, and whatever they feel they're going to have. So then they go through the feeling of what they feel. They'll basically, that is what's going to be the impulse that they're going to act upon, because that's how they feel. So if you feel hungry, you're going to eat anything that's going to be available to you. So the worst thing that you could ever do is go shopping in a shopping center when you're hungry. Okay, because why? You feel hungry. You're going to be asking for things that you shouldn't be, and then you're going to shop for it because you're acting upon your feeling, because you didn't prepare. But if you had a plan of what you're meant to buy, what you actually need sensibly the day before or before you went shopping, you'll just quickly buy what you have to buy. So the same thing works for fitness, same thing works for your health, same thing works for business. It just works the same. It's one formula.
Yeah. So what is specifically like training? Obviously you have a very strict, I think everyone knows, a very strict regimen of training and eating, specifically Monday to Friday, more so, right? I think 7 days a week generally you're like that, but more specifically during your work days. What does that, I guess, what kind of mindset does it put you in to help you, I guess, achieve your goals for that day? Like, how does that make you feel?
Look, I believe if you're healthy physically, you can face anything in terms of business, relationship. You're a better person. You think clearer, you're better. Like this morning, I came back from a workout and I asked one of our staff members, I said, you happy? What's going on? She goes, oh, I actually worked out in the morning. I said, so do you notice that it actually changes your the way of thinking, your happiness, whatever, after you work out? She goes, yeah. So for me, it goes hand in hand that I have to set my priorities in place. So health for me is everything, because everything else will flow from that. If I'm married to you and my health is crap, I'm no good to you. How long am I going to last? I'm not going to last. I'm going to be sick. You're going to have to look after me. I'm going to be back and forth from hospitals or whatever because I'm sick. I'm not good. So if I'm healthy, I'm better for you as a husband. If I'm healthy, I'm better for you as a business partner, because I think I'm very switched on. My mind's very thin. Why? Because I'm actually disciplined in everything. I pre-plan everything. If I can't look after my health, how am I going to look after my business? How am I going to look after my relationship? How am I going to? I'm going to be inconsistent in everything. The worst thing you could ever say to me is you're going to be here at 3:30 and turn up, for instance, at 4:30, okay? And then walk in like it was normal to you. Automatically, I've placed you in a category of friendship that you are an acquaintance, you're not a friend, because you're inconsistent. I can't trust when you say something. The worst thing I could deal with is with a person is that if we go out, all they want to do is eat crappy food. And then after, they'll ask me a million questions on how to be healthy, right? I can't deal with that, because from the start, it's all planned from before, all right? If you train, you need to fuel your body with good food. If you have a business, you have to fuel that business with good ideas and innovative ideas and implement them before. You can't just do it on the fly. It's like saying, I want to be healthy on the fly. You cannot. It's all pre-planned. It's all pre-planned. Everything's written beforehand. Everything falls into place the day that you've planned it for.
Yeah.
It just, if you ask me, what am I going to eat? I know already. I have it in the fridge. It's all planned. Okay. The only time I leave an option is where I go, okay, we're going to go out after this. We're probably going to go out and have something to eat. But I already told you where we're going to eat. Why? Because I know that they've got certain food that I want to eat there. I don't just whatever. So it's probably too disciplined for a lot of people. But if you can just apply half of that, I'm telling you, your health
will be a game changer.
Your health will benefit from it. And apply the same thing into your relationship, into your business, and everything else will benefit from. Because everything takes preparation and planning. Nothing works on the fly. Sometimes you can fluke and have a good time, but that's not how you can live your life.
You can't go through life just like doing things spontaneously all the time, right? I can't deal with people who are disorganized. That's my number one thing. I cannot, like, I feel chaotic around them, and I'm like, flustered. It just really irritates me. I can't. Right? So I obviously, with one of my businesses in events, things are happening live.
Yeah.
So if one thing goes out of whack, it just throws
It's gone.
everything out. I can see I've dealt with the chaos it can bring
That's the
if
worst.
someone is not organized and I just lose
No,
it.
I can't
You
do
know
it.
what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
can't do it.
like, so having, you know, like having your mindset and your things in place is so important. It impacts other people as well. It's not just you. When you're working in a team, when you're working in a business, get it together.
Look, I really think if you don't plan, then you are already planning to fail. Like you're planning not for it not to do well. Like it's like I said, I'm planning for the next day to go this way. If I don't plan, then it's going to go with whichever way the wind takes it.
Yeah.
So I'm also planning for it to fail. So you either plan for it to do well and to plan for it the right way, whichever way direction you want it to go, or it's just going to go whichever way it wants to. And if you like living life on flipping a coin, then that's your call.
Yeah.
But your health is not going to do well. Your business is not going to do well. Your relationship is not going to do well because you've got a mindset on the fly. It's whatever. It's all good. It's
You're just not going to show up as your best self in any aspect
well, you're
of
not.
life.
You're
right?
not, because you're not consistent with anything.
And I find like if you don't eat well, also the brain fog that you get.
Oh yeah.
It's massive. Like when I cleaned up my diet, I just couldn't
see the difference.
Yeah, the difference in the clarity of, you know, your thought, in the productivity levels that you have. Things that it took me hours to get done, I was just like smashing out in like within an hour, 2 hours. It was incredible.
So people call me the Nazi, the food Nazi, and you know, they joke around it and whatever it is. I cannot afford to be sick and unhealthy. I've been on both sides of the of this fence, and I don't want to be unhealthy. So I went into a massive depression, went into a very bad eating disorder, and I went from 6-pack to 1-pack to 6-pack again. I'm happy to have the 6-pack because this keeps me disciplined. It keeps me watching everything as I do it. Now, I'm not saying every now and then you don't want to muck around, you want to eat your ice cream, whatever. That's cool. Do whatever you have to do. If you're already there, you can do whatever you want. But if you're trying to get healthy, then no, you shouldn't. Until you're healthy and you've got your life in order and you're happy with the way your body's performing, you feel healthy, you are healthy, you're disciplined, then every now and then is fine. But like I said, I'm usually hated when I mention these things because generally 90% of the people around you are not healthy.
No, okay? They're not.
They're not healthy.
No,
so when I have a
but you need to respect, like, you work hard.
Yeah.
Right. And you know, anytime like we all like go out for dinner or lunch, like you know, find somewhere that have no carbs.
I'll be telling you,
which is fine.
My diet is, it may not work for everyone, but mine is a low carb, high protein diet.
Yeah.
Okay, so low carb, high protein diet. So that works well for my body type. So I do really well with meats and vegetables. I don't do well with carbs. When I have carbs, I actually get bloated, I get sluggish, I get brain fogs. I don't do well with dairy and gluten. I don't do well at all. I'm not diagnosed that I'm gluten intolerant, nor dairy intolerant, nor lactose intolerant. But I feel when I have it, okay, it throws me out. I feel when I have garlic, it throws me out. So I've tested all these things out on myself. I've diagnosed myself when no one knew all these things before. I used to have joint pain. I used to have all these things and inflammation as I was probably developing an autoimmune disease without even knowing that that's what's happening to me. So, you know, as far as you can see, doctors and medical professionals that are just general practitioners don't really know much about health. Okay, they know how to diagnose certain things, but when it comes to health, they're fat slobs themselves, right? So how is someone that is unhealthy going to tell you how to be healthy? Okay, like how? I remember saying to a GP that I was seeing, I said, "Oh, my joints are hurting me. I'm putting on weight." No, you're fine. The only reason why he's saying that to me is because he is fat and he is overweight and he is actually unhealthy. And to him, that's normal, right?
Yeah.
No, it's not normal. I'm going to prematurely die from what I have. So I thought, you know what, this is enough. And as soon as you said what you said, as soon as I cleared up my diet, I can think clearly.
Yeah.
I can make executive decisions. I can make clear decisions. I can make precise decisions. I see things much quicker than other people see it. And I'm thinking, what's wrong? Why don't you see what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
Because this is the diet. This is the fuel. I said it ages ago to you. if you have a high-end car, that high-end car requires certain fuel. In Australia, we call it 98% octane, so 98 octane. So that's when you go and fill up the most expensive fuel at the petrol station. If you go and become tight and you think, oh, it's too expensive to put it, I'm just going to put 91 in that, okay? You can once, twice. I promise you, your engine's going to go because you are lacking certain lubrications and certain things in that petrol that your engine requires. So up to you. You can start high end, best car ever, right? Because that's all given good bodies, but it's what you do with it later, right? It will conk out and it will break down on you, and some things are unable to be fixed. So why? Because of my inconsistency, because I can't plan, because everyone around me does that, so I'll just do that. No, I'm going to be the one that pre-plans everything, eats correctly, sits like, and I actually enjoy, I promise Jenny, I actually enjoy eating when I eat.
Yeah.
I've been eating like this for the last 4.5 years. I actually enjoy I crave the same food every day. You cannot believe it.
No,
but
I
crave the same food every day.
For my breakfast, I'm like that.
Like that's what I like to have.
Yeah.
Right? Like even my girlfriend sometimes she's like, oh, do you want me to change it up? I'm like, no.
Because you've experienced the end result, and I think you're addicted, right? When you become addicted to that end result of that, that clarity of your mind and that productivity level,
correct,
the energy level that you have,
correct,
you can't go back. I think
correct.
That's what it is.
I mean, look, we can talk about this forever, but I'm just saying to you, there's a formula, and the formula is pre-planning. You have to plan because then you'll know what your day is going to be and how your week's going to end up and how your month going and how the year. Someone says to me, this is, if I do this for how long, when would I get results? I said, if you want abs, you'll get it in 6 months. Okay, you want to put on a little bit more size, you'll get it in 12 months. I already can tell you exactly if they follow it. So then come 6 months later, if they haven't, I'll be like, you're a liar. Straight out. You haven't had your abs, you're a liar. Oh, I've just been, and then they'll tell you exactly what they've been eating, right? So it's not possible. That's a formula. That's what it does. If you do this, you get this, okay? But it's because we don't follow that. So then we expect a different outcome. Is that madness or not? How can we not change? How can, if you don't alter what it is now, you're going to get the same result every single time. So I alter it to get a different result. If I don't alter it, it's not going to give me a different result. It's going to give me the same result every single time. So from my situation this is what works for me. And I apply that in every single aspect of my life. And I find it works well for me.
Yeah.
No one taught me this, Jenny. No one around me actually said to me, this is how you're meant to do it. I just found that the only way that it has to work, because all the other way is chaos. Who says to me every day, I'm going to just go, yeah, whatever I feel like I'll eat. Sorry, that's why you're unhealthy.
Yeah. And I've actually reduced my drinking a lot.
Alcohol drinking? Yeah. I'm not really a drinker.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy socially drinking, but I've reduced that so much.
Look,
and
I'm not, I don't know how to smoke. I don't drink much.
Yeah.
I don't do recreational drugs. Like, I'm not really into that.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty disciplined when it comes to that anyway.
Yeah.
But alcohol, for instance, that's just a lot of liquid calories that are uncounted for.
Yeah, honestly.
Right? So it's like, it's up to you.
But also, the hangover, that feeling like when you're losing brain cells as well.
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things. From my side of things, this is what's worked for me. If I don't want to show off too much, but if I show you before and after pictures, people will just say he's showing off. But it's like chalk and cheese.
You did the work, right?
Yeah. So I'll be honest. All year round, I've got a six pack. All year round. Okay, and how? I'm not doing anything different than other people that are at the same gym. The only thing that I am actually doing is I'm combining my diet with it all the time. So that makes a difference.
Consistency.
Like that makes a difference. So I'm sorry when someone comes up to you and goes, "Oh, how is it why are you jealous?" So at the end of the day, you're going to get out what you put in. So there's no ifs or buts. That's what's going to happen. So if you want a particular outcome, then plan for it so that it can become that particular outcome.
Yeah. Or
it's just going to move with the wind. So that's my spin on things. I'm hoping that some people can benefit from it, and some that do want to learn from it. I'm more than happy to help whichever way I can, whether it be in business or health. For business, you know what we do for lots of businesses.
Yep.
For health, I'm more than happy to even if you want a program, I write a program for you.
Oh, there you go.
But I'm hoping to God that you actually follow it, because I hate to waste my time for nothing.
Says every PT ever.
Yeah, that's it. Mm.
Well, thanks so much for joining us for another episode. Hopefully that was helpful for you. Whatever habits you have, hopefully you can tweak that so you can get your optimal outcome in your personal life and business. Like, share, follow, and we'll join you next time.
Thank you.